Yikes. Well, that was something. Wasn't all bad, of course. Current civil rights movement is making a big splash. Dolly Parton is finally getting her due, and this woman right here, she managed to beat the world record for the most amount of chicken nuggets eaten in 3 minutes. I eat vegan, and that's impressive. But one thing I know many of us missed on the smaller side of things was the theater experience. Nobody missed it more than Christopher Nolan, but the rest of us missed it a lot too. And it's a year that could see movie companies moving away from theater distribution forever, or at least for a good long time. Yet through the winding hoses and pipes of the World Wide Web, we still got some excellent movies this year, and I'm gonna hand it off to some respected film lovers to tell you about some of their personal favorites.
Hi, I'm VJ Colangelo, and I'm a filmmaker and a film theorist, here to talk to you about my favorite movie of 2020, and that is Brian Duffield's Spontaneous. Spontaneous is based on a pretty popular young adult novel of the same name, and if there is a film that could better encapsulate what 2020 feels like, Spontaneous is it. It's a story about a high school in, anywhere USA where the students start spontaneously combusting, and it's gory and it's graphic and they legitimately just explode. The government can't really figure out what's going on. They try to quarantine these kids first off to see if they can figure it out, and they end up giving them a form of medication that they call the snooze button. It doesn't make anything stop, it just delays things for a little bit. So what we're left with are these characters that know that any day might be their last. It's clearly an allegory for school shooting, but has become weirdly relevant in 2020 America. It stars Catherine Langford, who many people know from Knives Out or 13 Reasons Why, giving quite possibly one of the strongest performances of the year. And the unfortunate reality is that because this is a movie that's sort of geared towards teens, it's probably not going to get the bells and whistles that it deserves. But it's gritty, it's kind of gross, it's graphic, but it has a really genuinely beautiful heart at all of it. There are moments that will make you feel so good and make you feel so invigorated about life, and then there are moments that are gonna break your heart a little bit. And then, of course, moments that are gonna make you laugh, because after all, it's a movie about people blowing up out of absolutely nowhere. So do yourself a favor, rent it. It's available on VOD. It's gonna cost you a little bit, because this isn't like I pay for my streaming, therefore this is free. No, pay for it, support these creators, and check out Spontaneous.
Hello, this is Cameron Smith, owner of Cam Tunis Productions on YouTube, and I was asked to give my opinions about what I thought was worth watching in 2020. Was anything worth watching in 2020? Well, personally, I haven't really watched many movies this year, so I can only speak about what I've seen in the previous year, 2019, which I think was a better year for movies because there were things that were much more creative driven.
Hey, this is the version of Joe editing this video, and Cameron, even though you didn't follow the guidelines, that's okay, I'll let it slide. Go ahead.
Such as Us by Jordan Peele, Klaus by Sergio Pablos, and Joker, directed by Todd Phillips. And I think 2019 it was a pretty good year for film because it really had much more creator-driven stuff that came out. And I hope to see more stuff in that vein in the coming years. Thanks.
Hey there, folks. This has been a heck of a year, hasn't it? Everything going on, you don't need me recapping all of it, but yeah, there have been a few bright spots. And I want to highlight one, not only because it's good, but because it's something good that you can see right now for free, no matter what streaming services you currently use. That's one of the problems with these kinds of lists. We can talk about any kind of stuff that is great or worth finding, but if it's not already on a service you have, you're gonna have to shell out money for it, or maybe it's truly exclusive to that service, you can't even digitally rent it somewhere. It can become a mess. I want to tell you about Wolfwalkers. Wolfwalkers is a phenomenal movie from an animation studio that, if you don't know already, you should be aware of. They did The Secret of Kells, they did Song of the Sea, they did The Breadwinner. They have a really solid track record. And this, it's in their standard gorgeous animation style. It is a good, solid story. It's good for kids. It's good for the young at heart. It's just a good time. I watched it with my kid. She loved it. I loved it. It's really well worth seeing. It's on Apple TV, but here's the thing. You can sign up for a trial run of Apple TV. 1 week, free. You get full access to the service, which includes this movie. Which means if you don't already have Apple TV, you can get it free for a week, cancel it before that week's over, and you have watched this movie, one of the good things to happen in 2020, for free. You have no reason to miss out on this one. Go watch it. Brighten up either the end of this year or the start of next one. Enjoy. Tell them I sent you. Nah, don't. They won't know who I am. Who's they, anyway? Who am I talking about? I don't know. I don't know how to sign this off. Please, please, take the mic from me. Please.
Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate that. As for me, one of my favorites was a documentary called Feels Good Man, which is about Pepe the Frog, which sounds really bad. Doesn't sound like an interesting movie, but it's fascinating. It starts from the beginning where you learn about how Pepe was created by this soft-spoken illustrator who was kind of telling stories about his 20s, and goes on to show how he became a meme and it was co-opted by just general internet silliness, to the dark corners of the alt-right, to cryptocurrency bros, to the hope that came from the Hong Kong protesters. So it's a wildly fascinating story. I don't think too many movies really capture like how the internet works, and this one knocked it out of the park. It's by Arthur Jones. With that being said, here's to 21 being a little less dangerous. Stay safe, everybody.